So my goal for 2024 is to run Kullamannen 100 miles in sub 20 hours. So that's a very ambitious goal, but I have time. So the race is not until November and now it's January. So the idea with this video is really to break down a little bit how I go about setting my goals for 2024, what they're all about, and also go a little bit more into the details of the goals and what the season's gonna look like. The idea is also to share my journey and give you frequent updates to see how I progress and how the training is going, and basically share my experiences around the whole process. So back in December, I started to plan out the 2024 season. And that all started with basically looking back at 2023, what I had done and so far. And I think one of the main things there was that I figured out how to run 100 miles in a controlled way. So part of that goal setting process was to find a new purpose and a new why for why do I run this far. Starting off, I looked at the long-term goal. And when you're approaching 50, when you're approaching half time, so to say, it's no longer Olympics that's going to be the long-term goal. My long-term goal is to run until I die. And I'm going to be old. So if I'm going to run when I'm 100, I need to start to build up a robust body that can handle and cope with running or staying active for a long time. And hopefully the running itself helped me to achieve the goal of getting really old. Yeah, so the foundation of my long-term goal and the way to really get there, you really need to enjoy what you're doing. Always run with a smile. And if you don't have a smile on your face, you're doing it wrong. And most likely you're running too fast. So it's too difficult for you. So slow down is my main advice. But you need to enjoy it. That builds the consistency. And then consistency is key if it's forming a habit or if it's achieving some progress with training goals. But in all training, consistency is king. So once you have defined your overall goal, the long-term goal, then you can look at the mid-term goal. So for me, 2024 was not really to set that I should run the 100-mile race in 20 hours. It was all about kind of the habits I wanted to create. So starting off with training, I wanted to build a robustness. I actually already started to go to the gym to lift some heavy weights. And mobility, so going to continue with some yoga and things. Basically train my weaknesses, so that also includes speed without getting injured. So I still had the main target, the long-term goal, staying injury-free for the consistency and for the longevity. So another area when it comes to training that I wanted to improve is the structure around training. So I wanted to be a little bit more organized. I've mostly been running on, gut feel, ending up in the comfortable zone 2 pace, so not really pushing myself. And that's okay. I mean, that's very good. But I wanted to take it to a little bit next level. So I contacted also a coach in December, so Christian Malmström. So he's going to help me along this journey. So it's going to be really exciting to see what he can bring as well. The other part of having a plan is to follow up the plan while executing the plan, but then also to see how did I follow the plan and what was good, what was not so good, etc. So that's another thing. Yes, I also have a few mountain races planned, like Snowdonia, Lavaredo. Part of the goal is to become a better mountain runner. And strength is one component of that. Some weight loss can also benefit me in doing better in those mountain races. And that will also help me become a faster runner, I think. We're getting up to the top. So this is probably the highest mountain I have around where I live. I mean, I could run up and down here, this 30-meter hill, 100 times. But that's not my idea of fun, really. But you really have to enjoy the whole process around it. I think that's very, very key to keep the consistency and keep the joy in putting in the effort. So I did actually set the goal of running 100 miles in 20 hours after I set my process goals. If I make small improvements in all those areas, I think I could run sub 20 hours in a 100-mile race. And it's always good to have something measurable. It is a foolproof plan, because as long as I'm contributing to my overall goal, yeah, then it's a win, right? So even though I don't run 20 hours, if I stand at the starting line at Kullamannen, I have improved, I lost weight, I'm a little bit faster, yeah, then I'm a winner. In order to make this plan 100% bulletproof, I also have my life buoy with me, and that's actually having a coach. Because having a coach also means that you have someone to blame when things don't go according to plan. So, Christian, I'm sure you will work it out, but some pressure on you as well, mate. So when it comes to diabetes management, I basically just want to improve my control of the diabetes, because that's a way to extend my life, at least. And I've been terribly bad at basically doing the carb counting as you're supposed to do. So as a diabetic, you're supposed to kind of count every carb at every meal. This is extremely difficult. And then inject insulin accordingly. So that's an improvement area. And that also goes hand in hand with kind of the weight management and the nutrition. So I started to log everything that I eat in an app, basically, to see, you know, in particular how many carbs I eat, so I can inject accordingly, but then also calories over the day, so I'm not overeating. The intention is also to eat better food, so better clean eating. Also for the long-term goal, to live longer, you need to eat better, right? So less junk food and less, you know, kind of snacking. That's very much a weakness of mine. All the snacking, late night snacking, I mean, that's terrible. And for a diabetic, it's really bad. One thing I actually already started with as well is cut down alcohol, totally. So yeah, maybe if and when I do the 20 hours at Kullamannen, then I have a beer. So besides Kullamannen, what other races do I have on my agenda? Starting off, we have short one coming up in February, and that is boxing trail run in February. I'm coaching a football team, so I bring them to run with me, and well, so that's a goal in itself, to beat them all, right? So the first part of the season is really focused on training. So the first real race then is österlentrail 60k, and then it's a big adventure, snowdonia in May, 100-mile race, very tough, like 40-hour race. And my goal there is more the adventure. Lavaredo in June, I think it is June, and then July it's another 100-mile race in Sweden, Gax. It's a flat one, so I actually have a good chance of doing 20 hours there as well. And then it's another big adventure in England or Wales, I think. Ringoffire, it's a stage race, 3 days. It's not only about running, I also have some ambitions of continuing riding my bike, my mountain bike, and hopefully get on a few races. So staying fit on the bike and being able to do Cykelvasan and maybe a few other of those marathon mountain bike races. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely continue to do that as well. It's all about having fun. Two weeks now into the first plan, so this first period is all about building the base. It's the long, slow, comfortable runs, being out there, but then also a lot of strength training. The ambition and the plan is to continuously post, so maybe every 4th week or something like that, the progress. Okay, so finally, what is your plan for 2024? So let me know in the comments. Are you running one of the races I'm running? I might see you out there. And let me know if it's a really bad idea to share what I'm doing. Who cares, right? But anyway, Have a great 2024 and see you soon.